Welcome, Marisa. You are finally on the pod.
Yay, thank you.
And what a conceptual episode for you to start on. What does an AGT podcast talk about when there is no AGT?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is all just free-flowing, like
The world is my oyster.
free-form
Exactly,
jazz. It's
yeah.
The
wonderful.
world is our oyster and we are the pearls.
Exactly. See, I've never heard the second half of that saying. I've heard the world is your oyster, but I never heard that we're the pearls.
Oh,
is
yeah.
And that's
that-
very
is
comforting.
Is that the...
I just know it from H2O, Just Add Water. The theme song is the world is my oyster and I'm the pearl.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
that was one of the lyrics, and that's all. It could be made
So
up.
it could just be an H2Oism.
Right.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay.
Did you say H2Oism?
I created that
the
word.
ideology of H2O.
But you know what though? Like that's probably a good term. I feel like people quote H2O all the time, like Nor, Cleor, like that.
Oh, that's from
Yeah,
H2O.
Cleo. It's an Australian show. Cleor, Nor,
Nor, clear.
Nor. That's H2O. Just add water.
So Dan, how do you feel about us doing
Well, it's as a non-Australian,
Right.
I'm comfortable with it. Of course, I'm perfectly happy with racism of all kinds, as long as it's not
Jesus
against me.
Christ.
Gotcha.
Me
Okay.
and mine, stay away from
Noted.
them. Everyone else, fair game.
Gotcha.
That's
Right.
the English way.
And
Gotcha.
we've already gone off the rails at a minute and 30 seconds. That is
Who
fantastic.
had a minute and 30 for the first mention of racism in this AGT
And
podcast?
time.
Out of the gate.
God, do y'all like our intros? I feel like we need some feedback because a lot of the time our intros are just us talking about random stuff. And I don't know if that's like people are just bored or they actually enjoy our conversation.
Do we put, I mean, it's bad that I don't know this myself. Do we put timestamps on?
We do.
Okay, so that's fine.
So-
then.
so they can
just
just-
say whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't like it, skip it.
If
it's
you're not
fine.
interested, just skip.
Just skip.
Just skip.
I think on our YouTube we put timestamps. I don't know if it goes through to Spotify and Apple.
All the Spotify people, I have to sit through all of your inane garbage
Yeah.
week after week.
Pressing the plus
Yes.
10 skip. When does it get good?
Yeah.
The one that gets me is Smartless.
Oh,
So I listen to Smartless. I do enjoy
I
Smartless.
love
They're
Smartless.
very, very funny guys. But their adverts go on and on
Yeah.
and on. And there's about 6 different, and they have them all. And because they're so, I don't know, it's not like, oh, please go to omahasteaks.com to get your steaks
Right.
or whatever. They're all very okay, so basically what I like to do is so they're very kind of natural with
Right.
it. And so it's a lot harder to know,
Right.
you're just listening for that little snippet of,
Right.
that's John Krasinski, they're back
Right.
in or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
It's difficult. They make it tricky.
Sneaky bastards.
Yeah.
Damn it, Will Arnett.
Yeah.
Get your shit together, man.
Oh, is that Smartless? Oh,
So, no, we do have timestamps
Oh,
on
that's
Spotify.
good.
So Spotify has it, but I know Apple doesn't.
sorry.
Oh, look. Hey, look. I was just listening to it. But yeah, no. Yeah, no timestamps.
No timestamps. So we apologize to Apple people for having to listen.
Spotify supremacy.
Wow, apparently
Spotify
so.
supremacy. It's a thing. Smartless is good. You should
Oh,
listen
yeah.
to it.
Yeah. I'll listen
Oh,
to
have
it.
you?
I haven't listened to it, but on my drive home, I have like an hour.
Oh, so funny.
But there is that sense, I think, that I'm always reluctant to jump on board with a podcast made by celebrities.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just me.
No,
That's
I get
just
you.
me. Because I'm like, you've got enough.
Right. You've got enough.
You've got Arrested Development money.
Right.
You've got Ozark money. You've got
Right.
Will and Grace money. You don't
Yeah.
need this extra. I'm
Right.
sure you're getting a lovely boost of,
Right.
what, and they all talk about it on the show of that they're working actors and they've had success, but
Mm-hmm.
this is by far now the thing that they're most known for.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, isn't it funny? Isn't it interesting? It's and it is good.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have a very easy, relaxed banter about them, which I do enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
But you just feel like there's a million podcasters working
Right.
really hard
Right.
Yeah.
to try and, get some listeners.
Right.
And I'm just listening to Smartless or I'm
Right.
listening to the Conan O'Brien
Yeah,
podcast. Or
yeah.
just because I know them, always feel a little bit,
Right.
yeah, like I shouldn't. Like I should seek out these little
No, I feel the same
floundering
way.
podcasts.
I feel the same way. But I think sometimes they do have interesting things to say.
They do. And they're just getting all their friends on, and their friends are all famous as well. So they
Right.
get they had Biden on. They've got,
my
they've got these
gosh.
insane
it's
guests
insane.
Biden? Wow.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the Tom Holland episode because I'm just so curious to hear what he has to say about like everything.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, I want to know what happens in a celebrity's life. I want to know the play by play and understand what it is that goes on in their day. Because we see it through like a glass window,
Right?
You know, we can only peek in, but we can never be in there.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just so interesting to me because it's like, I could imagine, yes, it seems luxurious, but it must be hectic as hell.
Yeah.
Having appointments
Like
every
it can't be
single
real.
Right. Like you wake up at 5 a.m, you have to go to hair and makeup. Then you got some sort of thing. You got to do some sort of ad thing. Like
Right.
what does a normal day and then a relaxing day to a celebrity look like? You know?
Yeah.
That must be so interesting.
My favorite thing whenever like I listen to a podcast with like celebrities is hearing about like before they were famous, like when they were starting out. Like,
Oh yeah.
I think that's really interesting when they give like really good pieces of advice, not just for making it in the industry, but just like life in general, just like keeping going. Like I always really do enjoy that. But then even with like celebrity autobiographies, like once you get to the point where it's like, oh, I know this is where they started this and that, I get bored. That's just me. I like hearing about like before what their life was like, you know?
And it's that thing, isn't it? That kind of, that we only see the tip of the iceberg of, people going on these talk shows or doing these autobiographies. And I tried and I strove and I didn't give up and blah, blah, blah. And eventually I made it. You think, yeah, but that's like 0.003% of all the people that do it. Like, what about somebody who like, I tried and then eventually it just didn't happen. And it became entirely untenable for me to continue with it. And then I just had to find something else to do with my life. Because I think that's like, you get so keyed into this idea of like, well, if you just keep going at it, like everybody, all the stories you hear about people making it, it's like, yeah, but that's, most people don't. It's
I feel like one's like person that's a good example, like Pedro Pascal, like he didn't really like make it in the sense of like making it that we know until he was like 40. Like he was on Game of Thrones when he was like 39 and then Narcos. And really only like now, he's like what, 47, 48? Now like Pedro Pascal is Pedro Pascal. But he like went to college for acting, was in New York, like for years, was just kind of grinding. So I like hearing about that, like hearing about people who it seems like nothing was going to happen. They should give up, but they didn't. But I agree. Sometimes it's nice to hear like, I shouldn't, and so I won't anymore.
Because every film that's ever released about someone trying to make it, the lesson is just keep going. Right. There's no lesson from a film of like, do you know what? I tried it and then I need to try and find something else to make me happy in my life. And, that it's so built around that singular storyline of he strived and he, he grit his teeth and he didn't let go. And then eventually his hard work paid off. And it's like, if you always get but just what's your passion? What's your heart? What's your dream? And, AGT is as guilty as that of anybody. Just follow your dream and don't give up and don't have any other, take no thought of the morrow, like just kind of push forward with it. But that that can't happen. And after a while, that just becomes like a mania of some kind. Like, I don't think that should be encouraged. Right. And because then you just end up in a world of like, well, everyone's an actor, everyone's a singer, everyone's a performer, everyone's a creative. And we need accountants. Do you know what I mean? We need like administrators, HR representatives, like the society.
We need computer scientists.
This is it. This is it.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's, this is, and I think there's maybe more of an interest in, for me, of like, I've got this creative passion and it's my hobby. And that's great because then I go to work and I do my very important work and then I go home and that's where I get my happiness. And the work gives me the money to allow me to, to buy the fun things or do the, to kind of indulge in my hobbies.
And what's funny is sometimes that's how people that are famous, that's how it like starts. They just start doing it as a hobby, and I guess because there's no stakes, they don't have that pressure.
Exactly.
And their work is good and it gets seen, and then they're able to transition. Like, you just never know.
It's usually a lot of work.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're working a regular job that is not really interesting to them, and then they go home and they do this one thing and they push for that one thing.
Yeah.
You know, it is interesting though. I think because for us, we're creatives and we're also creative outside. So that's got to be kind of different, because it's like a lot of these people who do become famous, they come from backgrounds where it's like you never even expect them to be like some sort of engineer. Right. And then they're in this creative field, you know?
Right. That's like a Chris Stapleton. I love Chris Stapleton. He has one of the best voices ever. I think he was going to college for engineering and then dropped out to be a singer. And now he's like one of the best.
I could never. Yeah. I could never be some sort of like engineer or something.
No.
It's
too much. No.
Too much.
I mean, shout out to the engineers, but me personally.
Yeah, no.
I couldn't. I don't have the patience. I don't have the brain power. No. All
right, someone give us a math problem. Dan, let's go. Math.
6,054 divided by 12.
6,000? You said 6,000?
6,054 divided by 12.
Wait, Marissa's actually
actually
going
doing
in. Yeah, that's what I'm
trying.
I see the gears grinding.
I see the little Zach Galifianakis meme.
Is it like...
Wait, I can't even remember what I said.
Is it like 300 or 400 something?
I mean, I'll take it if that's the closest we get. What did I say? 6,000 and
6,300.
Oh God, it's 400 something.
It's 400 something, right?
It's 400 something. It's got to be like
what was the thing that I said there?
6,000.
I don't remember.
It finished 24, but what was that? What was that second digit?
6,524.
24 divided by 12. And what have we said?
It's got to be 4 something.
3 or 4 something?
400 something.
543.
543.6
recurring.
This is why I went to school for theater.
This is why I went to school for video production.
Yeah.
We have proven why we are not engineers. Yes. Success, guys.
Yes. Nice. Yeah. Shout out to all the engineers.
Yeah.
Just making stuff happen. Just making stuff work.
Yeah, exactly. God. I wouldn't want to drive over a bridge that I built and designed. Honestly.
And when the zombies come and society breaks down, I don't much wish to speak for you two as well, but I will. We are functionally useless. There are only so many traveling bards that a post-apocalyptic wasteland would need.
No, you're right. You're so right.
Engineers, carpenters, woodworkers, people working with their hands.
Yeah.
People throwing pots. All of that.
Now that you're talking about zombie apocalypse, what would you bring to survive in a zombie apocalypse? You only have 5 things you can bring.
Fantastic question.
5
I think
things
about
to
this
bring.
all the time. I have anxiety.
I have anxiety.
I mean, you've got to have a weapon. The weapon that, and this is a fun game that I would encourage everybody to play. Especially, it's the best game to play when you're going through IKEA, and I've got to go through IKEA and buy a table or whatever. At any one point, you say, right, in this room that I'm in, zombies are coming at. What am I grabbing? What's my weapon? Oh. That's a fun game. That's a fun game because you need that length because you want to keep them at arm's length.
Right.
But you need strength and durability, but it can't be too heavy. There's a lot of considerations here in terms of the perfect zombie brain stabbing weapon.
So I'm going to you if I ever need to create some sort of list.
Right.
I mean, logically, if the zombies arrive, the safest people in the world are nerds because they've spent a lot of time thinking about this. Shout
out to all the nerds out there.
Which, there's a big Venn diagram. Yeah. We're shouting out the engineers as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So some kind of long pole with a sharp end that's ideally lightweight, some kind of aluminium or some kind of, fiberglass something.
Carbon fiber, possibly.
Carbon fiber, yeah.
Like low weight, but strong durability.
Exactly.
Okay.
Painkillers, I think, is a big thing. Because in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, you get a toothache. My God, you're done. And maybe that's just the British person in me, but I'm going to get a lot of toothaches. Okay. Bad teeth, guys. My mouth is a war zone. A lot of painkillers. I'd imagine footwear is going to be play an important. Yeah, you need some real sturdy, beautiful hiking shoes.
I'm thinking like longevity. Like I'm trying to think of things that I can like recreate over and over again. Like things that'll help me make like, say you bring matches, but you only have so many matches. Like, I'm trying to think of something that, like, I'll never run out of. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they have those little
electronic ones.
Yeah, or the little, like, it's just like bits of flint in there, and it will like create a constant spark. And they're like, I mean, I've seen them advertised on social media. I'm sure they don't work as perfectly, but like, this is the lighter that never runs out. It's,
okay.
You just keep on going.
Wow.
So something like that would be good.
And then you just find anything that just could possibly spark up.
Kindling or whatever. And then it goes.
Oh, it's that, what is it? It looks like, it's like this little pod you take out, and it's this long piece of flint that you just got to spark.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I remember seeing it and thinking it was so cool. Huh.
And then what else?
Damn, this is kind of a loaded question. I didn't even realize.
I mean, if you could get your hands on some kind of military rations or something, I mean, it's only going to last a certain amount of time. But or a can opener.
Oh, a can opener would be
Because
nice.
you see in a lot of these films, they go to a supermarket or whatever, and there's all these cans on the shelves, and then they have to like smash it with a rock or something that you lose half the beans, and then, beautiful can opener.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Taking all of them beans. And then that can, you want to talk about, pop that on the end of your stick. Nothing sharper than the edge of a can. Slice me up real bad.
You're very
many,
right
many
about
times.
Getting this a lot of thought. I'm like noticing that.
Go to the nerds. The nerds have thought about it.
I think for me, I would bring as many bars of soap as possible.
Okay.
Like, I just see, I know it's about survival, but like, there's surviving and then there's thriving. But I feel like part of survival is staying clean.
Surviving is thriving.
Right. Thriving, it's like, I'm doing my skincare. I'm shaving my legs. Some people may not consider hygiene as part of survival. Me personally, like, I bring.
Just imagine. We're just like, Marisa, the zombies are coming towards us. I need to do my skincare, guys. Right. Just, like, please.
I have literally just put this mask on. Okay. Like, this is going to need at least 20 minutes.
This is horrible timing. Like, can it wait? Can it wait? Like, I would just bring like bars of soap you could just use. Nice. I mean, even if you put like a bunch of bars of soap in like a bag, it can be a weapon. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah. Oh my God. You could probably just like knock someone over the head with it.
Yeah.
Right. Huh. So definitely some sort of soap. So if I find a stream, I can just like every once in a while.
Yeah, it would be nice.
You know what I mean? Wash my
nice.
face.
Yeah.
It's probably really disgusting. I think about that all the time. Whenever I watch like zombie shows, I'm like, it probably smells so crazy.
I feel like there's a difference between zombie apocalypse and post-apocalyptic end of the world. Because it's like zombies, you can still lock your door.
Right.
Like I would just lock my door and stay in and just like have running water and stuff.
Yeah.
Unless the zombies do take over these facilities and then the water just goes out. Yeah. Then that makes sense.
That's what happens. Definitely like a knife or a sword, probably a sword, like a samurai sword.
Yeah. You going katana? Yeah. Is
that
your
Yeah.
Nice and lightweight, because these swords are heavy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can use it to cut things, but also like defense as a sword.
Sure.
And then a lighter, some sort of lighter for sure.
Need that fire.
Yeah. I want to say a gun, but like a gun is really only useful if you have bullets.
That's the thing,
what I mean?
Isn't it? Yeah. They're going to run out.
Right. And they're going to run out.
Yeah.
Unless they're intimidated by guns. Just
True.
Unloaded guns.
True.
Take it easy.
Maybe like a bag of rice.
Yeah.
I mean, it stays fresh.
Yeah.
And it can hold you over.
It can. It can.
Because I have the lightweight sword.
Yeah.
The weight it'll save more room for rice.
Yeah. That's good.
Rice, sword, lighter, soap, and then the last thing, I don't know, I guess an extra pair of shoes.
Yeah.
I
think footwear's key.
Key. Yeah.
Yeah.
Footwear.
Nice.
That's what I would bring. So you're probably doing a lot of running.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Zombieland, it's one of the rules.
Yes.
Cardio.
Yes,
Gotta keep
exactly.
that up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Damn, what would I bring?
That's what I would bring.
Can opener's a good idea.
Thank you.
I really like that.
Thank you.
I would probably buy a life straw beforehand. Just
what's
to
a life straw?
One of those, what is it? You can filter water. It filters water or something. And you can drink it.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're crazy. And you get like
insane.
pills and or powder and stuff, and you can get like just a bucket of dirty, cruddy rainwater nastiness, and you put a thing in, and then 5 minutes later all the silt is at the bottom and the rest of it is drinkable. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So
that's good. Because water's more important than rice. Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it.
No, you're right.
You can survive
you can survive off
is
water.
Is it 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food? It can't be 3 weeks without food.
No.
I don't know. But it's like water is like, if you don't have water within, maybe it's 3 days without food, and you'll just die. But yeah, you need that water much more than food.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take out, I don't even remember my items now. I had a sword. I had a sword
first and foremost, right?
Soap.
Sword
shoes,
and soap. Sword, it's all the S's.
Rice.
Notepad, so you don't forget the stuff that you.
So you know what? I would switch out the rice for like a reusable water.
Yeah,
container.
That's good. That is smart.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, no rice, water.
I feel like being trapped in a supermarket would be ideal, though.
Oh, absolutely.
That's where you want to get to. There's a lot of tins there, man.
Right.
A lot of tins, a lot of water.
Yeah. You'd also want to just like cook some of this stuff then, right?
Ideally,
so you would have to find a way to. Oh, imagine getting trapped in a Costco.
Yeah, if it's an American supermarket with like wood at the front of the thing, then you're
perfect.
Yeah.
Golden.
Yeah.
So what we do is zombie apocalypse, we go to the Midwest, right? Get trapped in a Walmart of some sort. Where we have everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, even if the zombies break into the Walmart, they're so big you wouldn't know about it for like.
Be able to find,
we've got another couple of weeks. They're only in.
I lose my mom.
They're only in children's socks, guys. We've got plenty of time until they get there. Yeah.
Wow.
Get separated from my mom when I'm in Walmart. Zombie won't be able to find me.
All right.
Is that what this podcast is about?
I was going to say.
Yeah. It's all about zombie apocalypses. That's all it is.
Welcome to the recap room.
Hey everyone, welcome to the recap room, your go-to podcast for the inside scoop and hot takes on all of our favorite shows. Today, our guests are Dan and Marisa from The Office.
Yay!
Hello.
Ooh. Hi.
So, this week is a little bit interesting because there is no show.
Shocker.
Yeah. How dare you, 4th of July? How dare you, America, celebrate with your fireworks and your freedom and barbecues? What else happens during 4th of July?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Yeah.
Hot dogs and scared dogs.
Yeah. You're so right.
That's the 4th of July, baby.
Just the fucking fireworks.
I had to break out the thunder shirt for my dog.
Really?
Yeah.
Thunder shirts.
Yeah. It was her first time using it. It was definitely too big, but it worked.
But isn't that the whole point of it, though? That it's supposed to like contract,
right? But it was
so
too
being
big.
too big.
It was
like,
too big. Yeah, it was actually something that the neighbors gave to my dog.
Oh wow.
Gave to us for the dog, but I think they miscalculated.
Wait, so how does this work? What?
So I don't know the science, but basically it's almost like a compression shirt for like over their chest and back. I guess it's supposed to be like soothing, like the way you swaddle a baby. Yeah. But for when they get anxious, and my dog, she doesn't like thunderstorms. She doesn't like fireworks.
Oh. Wait, that's so sad.
Yeah, it is very sad.
Oh.
Did the neighbors go hard with the fireworks? Because I would read that into it of like, we're going to get you this thunder shirt because we are going off.
Yeah. No, actually, it was the people down the street. It was.
Oh, wow.
It was a lot.
Was it?
It was a lot. I mean, it's just, listen, on the 4th of July, it's great. It's fun. But the thing is, all summer, if you don't use all of them on the 4th of July, like through August.
Yeah.
The entire summer, it's just like midnight. It's like, it annoys me.
They need to do it like, where was it? It's that video. It was a couple of years ago. San Diego or something. And they did a fireworks display that was all like computerized. But it malfunctioned and it let off like 40 minutes worth of fireworks in about 10 seconds.
Oh my God.
It just looked like
yes,
like
I do remember.
Nuclear dawn.
Oh my God.
I mean, gets all out of the way.
I think I remember seeing a video of that and it was just like, what is happening? That's gotta, do you think there's any sort of like danger that comes with that? Because I mean, it's usually held over like a body of water of some sort to like diffuse.
I mean, yeah, there's it must be a lot of stuff released, like chemicals and and just general debris.
Yeah.
Like the park near where I live, there was lots of like just stuff the morning of, just stuff left out.
Yeah.
Glitter.
Right. I saw in the news that it must have been Fox News when they were reporting on how like certain cities that are prone to wildfires were using drones. Everyone was like, this is un-American. 4th of July is about fireworks. And I was like, all right, a city burning down isn't patriotic.
That's the most American thing that you can have.
Yeah, exactly. Like what's so bad about drones?
I tell you what's bad about drones. Nothing. I saw this one, it might have been for like Chinese New Year or something, and it was a full-on like a dragon.
Show? Oh, wow.
Like flying. And it's just, for an idiot like me, just baffling how it works.
Yeah.
Because it just looks like a kind of Spirited Away, like the kind of Japanese, like the really long dragons, like from Breath of the Wild or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like flying. It wasn't just like, here's an image of a dragon.
Right.
It was actually flying.
Wow, that's really
unbelievable stuff.
And that's got to be so insane to like have people fly that.
Yeah.
Either, I mean, I can understand if it's a program and it's like the coordinates have to go, but I think it's
be a program.
It has to be, because there's no way somebody's like, okay, we're taking this very specific flight path in the air.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand if you're doing it. Let's say you're doing some sort of like, what is it? Like what the Mayas do, right?
Yeah.
Just to bring it back, right? I understand everybody has to stand in a certain position. You have markers of some sort and then whatever. When you're in the air, there's nothing indicating other than, I don't know, fucking particles in the sky that you can't really feel. Like there's nothing, and the clouds, like, I don't know.
This is why we need engineers.
She brought it back.
Wow.
She brought it full circle.
Yeah.
Excellent
we love all the nerds. We love all the engineers.
Yeah.
You know, also the people who are now finding out, oh my God, I've thought about the zombie apocalypse. Am I a nerd?
Yes. Congratulations.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes.
One of us.
One of us. One of us. So since we didn't have a show this past week, we're just going to talk about some of our favorite acts, maybe some of the stuff that we liked, didn't like. It's very free form. It's very chill, very cash today.
I will say that the instructions that Julian gave prior to this for preparation were terrifyingly vague.
Yeah.
Just some acts, just 2 or 3 acts.
Just an act.
Yeah, that's it.
I tried to narrow him down. I tried to narrow him down. He would not be pinned down.
Yeah.
He just refused.
Sorry.
Ideally AGT, but maybe other stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be this year. Whenever you want.
When an indecisive person gives you instructions, could I do this? Yeah, that works. No, you need to tell me specifically.
Hem me in.
Yes
me
or no. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can talk about anything. It doesn't even need to be AGT. You know what? Let's keep talking about the zombie apocalypse.
We'll talk about that. What's it? That Danish act.
Which one?
The horror one where it starts off and the guy's playing the guitar and then he gets stomach pains.
Yes.
And then he like rips his own guts out and all these zombies come in and start. And they purported like it was a singing act, but it was actually this like, I guess like site-specific theater company thing.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I saw this for the first time, I think it was a month ago, and it was in a compilation I was editing, and I was like, I've never seen this before. And so it's just a guy playing a guitar, and then full on, what is it, Predator versus Alien fucking burst out of his stomach
it's like,
kind of thing. And then a bunch of people with like chainsaws and whatnot. But there was no indication that it was a prank or anything. Or
the only thing was, because I did this in a voiceover compilation. And so kind of diving a bit further into it, there's a little message that pops up as the guy starts singing. I was like, oh, what is that? It's in Danish. So you kind of type it out in Danish and you go onto Google Translate and it says, this performance may not be suitable for like young kids. And I was like, this isn't, yeah. So wow. they left some little breadcrumbs, but yeah, it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And there's one of the Danish judges kind of looks like the Queen. This little grey-haired lady, and she's like hating it. She jumps up on the desk to get away from this like chainsaw mania. And she's like smashing the red button. Like, no. Make this be done.
I get her. I would be the exact same.
I just love it when the judges use that as a panic button. It's not even just a red buzzer. It's like, please stop.
It's like an elevator button. The more you hit it, it's not going to make it.
It's not gonna work. Yeah, that's a good act. That's a really good act.
I'll have to watch that tonight.
Oh, you'll be horrified when you watch it. You're just gonna be like, "What the fuck am I watching?"
Grim. It's pretty grim.
Yeah.
So who wants to go first? Who's got a?
I'll go first.
Yeah, you know what, Marisa, go for it.
Do it.
Sure.
Yeah. Do it.
So yesterday I found that I'm already forgetting his name. What's his name?
Oh, Gatis.
Wait,
let me.
It's not America's Got Talent. It's Britain's Got Talent. But he's a comedian, so to speak.
Oh,
and
he's like Eastern European, and he comes back a couple of times.
Yeah.
Simon
really
loves. He's so awkward,
super deadpan.
Super
awkward. It's not even deadpan. He's just flopping so hard, but like it's so funny. Like the way he's flopping is hilarious. He's one of my most favorite things that I've seen.
Yeah,
truly. He's just so.
Can you remember any of his zingers?
I do actually. So I haven't seen the full act, but I've seen clips. Yes.
This dude.
Gatis
Kandis.
Well, first of all, his forehead is so sweaty. He looks like he's absolutely like panicking. Like he's being forced to do this he's not being forced. He chose to be here. At the beginning, it's like, ladies are actually attracted to what's inside a man. He's like, ladies, back me up. Say yeah. And it's just dead silent. Dead silent. And then he goes, rapidly moving on. Okay. And then he goes into like his next joke. But the thing that was making me lose it. Well, he also was making jokes about like the bathroom and like toilets. Classic. But like not just dirty, it was just like stupid. But then he just goes, if seeing is believing, then the weeing is relieving. And then he stops and it's just awkward laughter. And then he's like, more? You want more? He's like, he knows he's not doing well.
And a single voice from the back.
No. Right. But he just keeps going. Oh, it's so funny. And then Simon's laughing. It's just great. It's just so
such
funny.
An odd act.
It is. It's so odd. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny.
I think what makes it even better is that Simon, out of all people, enjoys it.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Right. He's like laughing. I feel like he's laughing more at the situation rather than like, I think it's a little bit of both. I think he was laughing at some of the things that he said, but he first started laughing when Gatis was like, ladies say yeah. And then it was complete silence.
And all of the women collectively.
Right.
No. That reminds me of there was that one lady who went on AGT or BGT. She was a stand-up comedian and she's just like, how's everyone doing? Are you all right? No one says anything.
Nothing.
No,
Crickets.
You're all left. And all silence and all you hear is I don't know if it was an actual edit, but
that's so funny.
Even before working here, I remember that clip just being like, what is happening?
That is so funny.
God, I have to find it to show y'all. It's just too funny.
But the good thing about Gatis, I think, is that it kind of highlights the odd thing about stand-up comedy that I think was also highlighted by, what's his name, Viggo Venn this year. Britain's Got Talent. That the job of a stand-up comedian is just to make you laugh.
Right.
And how they get from A to B is just, there's a million different ways.
Right. No, you're so right. I think about this all the time. Like for me, I hate when, this is just me, but I hate when I can tell comedians are trying so hard to like cling on to like their act or what they think should be funny rather than going with the flow.
Yeah.
Like when they tense up and are like, jokes.
Yes.
Like I liked how Gatis, like he could tell he was flopping. So to make everyone laugh, he was like, you want more? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
leaning
kinda,
into it.
Yeah, going with the flow. I think that makes a great comedian. I really hate when it's almost like, why is there an audience?
Yes. Yeah. You could just be watching a video.
Right.
There's if I can get a little bit technical here, come back to some of my dramatic training. There's a thing that actors practice called the Meisner technique.
Oh my God, yes.
Which is just all based around the idea of being in the moment and not.
Dan, you should know I have my BFA in acting. I went to school for acting. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm preaching to the choir.
No.
Yeah, just the idea of like, if something weird happens on stage,
you just go with it.
Don't ignore it.
Nope.
Because it's happened and it's there, and find a way to. And so, like you say, listening to an audience and actually being in the room and not just like, this is the 5 minutes that I've honed, and this is the 5 minutes that I'm going to do.
Right.
And, I think that, a lot of the time in a comedy club or whatever, those are some of the biggest laughs you can get.
Yes.
Is that similar to the yes and kind of?
Yeah, in a way.
Or is it like a parallel of
in a way, I think like with improv, like yes and like, that's just a philosophy you have to have, because you have to feed off the other person, because they're the other person that's on stage with you.
That makes
sense.
Like
you have to like listen to what they're saying and use it. Whereas like with comedy, I can see why people are tempted to just kind of ignore. But like you just kind of have to gauge like when to listen to what's like the vibe in the room.
That makes sense.
And not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Improv, it's like yes and all the time, because you really have to.
Because it's a team.
It's a team. Yes, it's a team effort. And the minute you I just whacked the mic. Sorry. The minute you say no, the scene is over.
The most important lesson or example of why yes and is so important is Michael Scott in The Office when he does improv, because
You're right.
he is completely. This is about me, and I'm going to be the coolest, and it just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't
when he's like, he always has a gun and all this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And that's what happens when you don't
That's such a good example. Yeah.
I just remembered the scene of literally just like, Michael, what do you have in your back pocket? Put the guns down. Put the
and he gives them all the guns.
Just all the guns.
And it's just genius because Steve Carell, like I think it was Second City or the Groundlings. Like that's where he got his start.
Mr. Improv.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just so
I bet he loved playing like all of these bastards who I was doing it with, who are just terrible. This is them.
Yes.
This is channeling all of them.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. Should I go into my second?
If you'd like, or we can all go around.
Let's go around in the circle.
I'm gonna start off a little negative, if I may. So I've got three people to talk about, and it gets gradually more positive as we go through. And it's not totally negative, because I don't see the point in that. But I'm going to talk about a guy called Johnny Showcase. Johnny Showcase was on 2 years ago, I think. And he has this kind of funk band. He's got these kind of lovely backing singers, and he's got this weird guy with this kind of weird hairstyle, and he's dressed like Disco Fabulous. And he comes out for his audition, and he sings a song. I don't know what the name of it is, but the chorus is basically, we can be sensual but not sexual because I'm married. And it's like a love story. It's like a funny love song sang to somebody who's like, we can be flirty, but I am married, so we can't do anything. But like, and it's all in that, in that kind of funky, and it's great. I love comedy music. It's one of my. It's in a weird way. It's one of my favorite genres of music. It's one of the ones that I listen to. Like if I'm in the shower, I'm singing a Tim Minchin song or a Stephen Lynch song, or the comedy musicals, your Book of Mormons, your Avenue Q's. These are spam a lot, constant rotation. I love it. And then they come out for the semifinals, whatever the next round is, and they have this production value. They sing a song about an octopus, and they have this big octopus on stage, and it's like multicolored and it's great, but it's not that funny.
No.
And it's so disappointing to like have such high hopes for an act. So I remember seeing him in the auditions. I was like, yeah, this guy's going to be one of my favorites all the way through. You see it just in those auditions. You're like, this is a horse that I am going to be pushing through to the final. And they come out and they're like, because he's an okay singer, but he's not a brilliant singer. And so to me, it's like, you're not good enough to not be funny.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly.
And just, it's a song about an octopus. That's kind of weird, but just dial up the comedy.
Right.
Like, give me an extra 30% funny.
Right.
Give me a couple of funny lines, something about having 8 legs or 4 hearts.
Let's ham it up. Let's ham it up.
Yeah.
And he's hamming it. I mean, he's still wearing this ridiculous outfit and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, just a real, is probably the most disappointing act, the most disappointing drop off from first act, from first performance to second performance I've ever had. Because I thought, this guy's got it. This guy is, he is my kind of guy. And then, to be like, no, but I'm actually a singer. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not.
Right.
Right. That's fine. But, So just, I just had to get that off my chest when you're like, just talk about anyone. Right. I was like, right, I'm talking about Johnny Showcase and how he broke my heart.
What year was he on?
This would have been, I think this was when I first started here. So I think, 2 years ago.
Oh, that's so funny because when I was in college, like there was someone in my ensemble switched like the word, flipped like sensual and sexual. So we just kind of became this bit where like sensual, not sexual, because that has a different meaning. So it's funny that he wrote a song about that.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of my freshman year of college. That's it.
Nice.
Wow. That act reminds me of how it flopped the second performance of this dude who went on AGTea. Howie Mandel loved him. White contacts, bright white contacts. He had his hairstyle kind of like Johnny Bravo, where he has this like thing and it's like flopping. Okay. And he played You Spin My Head Right Around, Right Around. And he's playing on the piano. You know what I'm talking about. I don't remember what this dude's name is. But basically, he went through from the first act into the second performance. First performance went great. All the judges loved him. Second performance, they didn't care for him. And Howie the entire time was just like, you guys don't get it. It's funny. And he's like, you're not being serious, are you? And he's like, well, I'd like to think that my music is serious and like the piano was good. And he's like, no, the piano wasn't good. Like, yeah.
And then he goes back and he's like, well, I'll show you how good the piano is and I'm going to play it again. Right. I'm like, dude, that's never going to work.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. I mean, he was a good pianist, but it just didn't work well with the type of song. And it just didn't, like the elements were just clashing too much and it just didn't. So I can understand
he had
that.
such a ridiculous outfit.
Yeah.
That you think, okay, so this is a comedy guy.
Right.
This is good. This is, he's in that kind of Dustin's Dojo kind of, which again, I
read
love
my mind,
like, I'm coming on, or Keith Apicary, I'm coming on as a character. This isn't a real person. And I love that kind of,
I love it too.
It's the pro wrestling fan in me, of like the blending of like real and not real, and you don't know what's going on.
That's part of like the experience of watching, like the joy of it. Like, is this serious?
Yeah. Is this a real dude?
No, this is a bit. Wait, like that's part of like the ride.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you are going to be serious about it, you have to pick, you cannot be in the middle. You have to pick one or the other to really distinguish the two. Like an example I use a lot is Joji. Do you guys know Joji, the singer?
I do.
Slow Dancing in the Dark.
Yeah.
He's better known on YouTube as Filthy Frank.
Yep.
And
you've talked to me about this guy
I like
before.
his music.
Yeah. Yes. He's phenomenal at what he does. And his music is very serious and it's very sentimental and whatnot. But his online persona from back then was very not appropriate for certain age groups, and like it was very dark and very edgy, and but there's this clear and distinct line that he draws between the two. The lines do get blurred during his live shows where like people think that they're going to see like a very serious concert and they're going to cry. And then it's him on stage being like, I got to go take a piss. There's the timer, start it off. And then you can hear like sounds of like trinkles in a toilet or something as he's like going off stage. But I feel like you have to draw the distinction.
There has to be distinction. Like, that's a good example. Like Joji as the singer, very serious, emotional, retrospective, but then like Filthy Frank, like no one's against having like duality.
Yeah.
People are complex, but it's just drawing the line and like committing to it. Like I feel like that was like, even not to go off like my training in school, like you can tell when someone like, I spent 4 years sitting up and watching people perform. You can tell the difference when people are committed and going like fully 100%. And then people that are like 85% there, but they're just like a little bit insecure. And like, it's like, you can feel that in these auditions as well.
Absolutely.
Like Dustin's Dojo is a great example. Like he went full, 100%. He wasn't
and it's
like
a character. We found out what his real name is, what he looks like, and I was just like, this dude's a regular dude.
Yeah.
It's insane.
He's just got a job.
Yeah. Like what?
So funny.
He served me at the bank.
Yeah.
Are you?
So funny.
No.
Yeah.
That is interesting though.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, Johnny Showcase, great, but just be funny.
Yeah, he didn't commit to the funny.
Give me 100% funny. Make me laugh.
Make me giggle.
Make me giggle as you make me shake my shimmy shoulders.
Make me chuckle.
That's all
Make
I want.
me chuckle, you know?
Yeah.
Who have you got, Julian?
Let me see where it is on my list.
Rapidly moving on.
Rapidly moving on.
You want more?
You want more? So I have two people here, but I will start off with a Spain's Got Talent one. The guy's name is Juanjo Monserat, right? He's the automaton guy. Have you seen this clip?
Yeah.
I have not.
Do you know what an automaton is?
I don't.
You've definitely seen one.
I probably do, but I just can't think of it.
It's, imagine a music note.
Mm-hmm.
So a quarter note of some sort
Mm-hmm.
with, make it a bright color
Mm-hmm.
with a little smiley face, and you squish that little face, and the actual stem is like, it's like your keys. It's like a chromatic scale of some sort. And it makes a sound every single time. And it goes, wah, 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 right? And so he plays some sort of opera song. I don't remember what song it was, but
that's funny.
Oh my God. And it's beautiful. And I think the best part about this clip is that their version of Simon Cowell, Risto, he's not impressed, of course.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. It's a really dumb looking instrument. And he's just like, what's so complicated about this? And they have a 5-minute segment of the judges going up and trying it out.
Oh, wow.
And then him having it, Risto tries it out and sees what he can do. And then he grows an appreciation for it.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I can see that there's some skill.
Yeah.
And gives him a golden buzzer.
Yeah.
Wow.
As
the
he's
best
walking back down to the desk.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best part, just because of the fact that it's like, you don't see the judges trying out some of the stuff, like, because we see it from a lens of like, oh, it's not that impressive. Anyone can do it.
Because it looks like a kind of children's, it looks like the Jack Black saxophone.
Yeah.
Dude. That, 1, 2, diddly-diddly-doo. God, that clip on Jimmy Kimmel's so great. Anyways, sorry. But yeah, no, it's this moment of like, you got to just try it to see what it's like.
Right.
And I'm so happy that he had that moment of like, well, you know what? I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see what it's all about. And then noticed, oh shit, this does take some skill.
Yeah.
But, oh God.
It's the same kind of concept as the idea that comes around every time the Olympics is on, where somebody says, for every single one of these events, we should just have like a regular person doing it at the same time as these athletes, just to show like, this is difficult.
Have you seen that? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I have seen that.
So good.
That's so
good.
funny.
I didn't even realize these things are like $99 or like,
wowzers.
Yeah, why is this so expensive? Anyways.
Have you seen Matt Lauer and Al Roker do like the luge?
No.
The luge.
The bobsledding, where it's like the 2-man bobsled.
Oh.
It's very funny. Like during one of the Winter Olympics coverages, like, everyone kind of makes fun of that. At least in my family, make fun of the luge. But they had,
because it does just look like you get in a tube and then it's going down a hill.
Going for a ride. Yeah. But they had Matt Lauer and Al Roker do it, and they were like screaming the entire time. It was really funny, and I feel like they left being like, okay, this
is serious.
This is serious. Yeah, you should watch it. It's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was also that very recent clip of in some kind of World Athletics Championships, the Belgian what's it called, hurdler, 100-meter hurdles, female 100-meter hurdles, and their hurdler was injured or couldn't compete in some way, and because of that, they were going to get disqualified from like the team competition unless somebody else did it. And the person that, I don't know whether they chose or the person that put their hand up, was the shot putter. It was like this big woman, this like kind of power woman who can throw a shot put like 20 meters or whatever. And so she lines up and she does the hurdles and is essentially stepping over the hurdles each time. She's like, takes 8 times longer than anybody else, but like, she did it, man. Yeah. She did it. Yeah. They didn't get disqualified. And wow. It's a lovely, lovely moment. But yeah, that same thing of like, this is actually really difficult.
Yeah.
And I think our surprise at how expensive it is.
Oh, yeah.
Buys into that. Because you think, well, this is a kid's xylophone, isn't it? This is like, what, $20? No, this is a lot. It's a proper instrument.
I feel like it could even go deeper than that. Just like people's careers. I feel like a lot of people sometimes take shots at like, oh, what you do is really simple. You know, you just like, I hear that a lot as a video editor. They're just like, you just sit down and edit videos or like, you just do this. And it's like, no, there's a lot that goes into this, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of my most constantly held beliefs or desires would be to be a literal fly on the wall at the work of my friends. Wouldn't that be fascinating? A, to get an appreciation of, this is actually quite a difficult job. And B, just to see your friends in like work mode.
Yes.
Because they're completely different people.
Yeah,
completely
absolutely.
different people.
Yeah.
So, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like my friend, he's a manager. I'm like, he's a manager? He manages people?
Right.
Like, I've seen him, like, he should not be a manager. But it's like a different, you have these different modes in your life. And like, I know him as friend guy. Yeah. But then he's also this, like, telling other people, well, you shouldn't do that. You should do it like this. Like, don't listen to him. He's an idiot.
It's funny. I have a lot of people in my family that work in schools and are teachers. And like that, I would love to see them be like, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, like, on a conscious level, I know that they're teachers, but like subconsciously, like I can't imagine what they're like because I've never seen it. Yeah, that is a really good. I would love that.
Oh my God, it'd be so interesting.
It is interesting to see that like work mode because like it's funny. I've had friends tell me like whenever I'm going out to film something, I get this demeanor where I'm immediately just like I don't think, I just do, I go.
Right.
Whereas everything else, they ask me to do something, I'm like, yeah, we could do it. Or, you know, But like, if it's like, okay, take that camera, put it here, do this, do that, blah, 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 this, and that. And it's like, whoa, where the fuck? Yeah. Like, you don't think about it. It is interesting though. It is very funny. But I could just imagine just going back to the whole, like your friend situation, just like, can't manage. You've seen him do 3 keg stands last week. What are you talking about?
I've got a voice note that is from him that is just a fart. He shouldn't be managing anybody. And it is a big, it is a taco. You know.
Oh my God.
God, that's so good. But yes,
so Automaton
guy.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
It's an excellent clip. The whole story arc of this is a kid's thing, this isn't a kid's thing, golden buzzer. Yeah. It's like it's been written. It's wonderful. Also, to all our listeners, if y'all are just watching AGT or BGT, expand to the other Got Talents because there's a lot of good stuff there. And don't worry about the language barrier. You know, you could probably throw on some subtitles, and if the subtitles aren't there, just watch the performances. They're great. They're phenomenal. And it's all, you've seen AGT or BGT enough, or Australia's Got Talent enough. You know the rhythms.
Yeah.
You know what they're all saying. You know that each of the judges have got some character. You know there's always a mean one. You know there's, you know, it's, you get it. You get it. Yeah. Even if you don't get it, you get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Should I go with my next one?
Go with your next one. Let's see.
My next one is another bad, weird one. It's those 2 guys that came and played the piano. They were wearing that Jason Myers mask
from last week. The Michael Myers thing.
Michael Myers.
Yes.
Yeah, I get all the horror movie villains confused. The Michael Myers one where they're playing the piano, they don't speak, and one of them like is behind Sophia and scares the crap out of her.
Yeah,
it was just like beautiful and absurd and hilarious, and the dancing, like once it went from the dramatic piano to like like, it's just so funny. Like,
I love that moment with Terry Crews looking over, just like,
he lights up. He absolutely lights up.
So good.
And my favorite is when the one guy starts dancing like really intensely to Vanessa Carlton. That was Miles.
So good.
Yeah,
so good.
It just, I don't know, it just scratched an itch for whatever reason. Like, it just was like, this is so funny. Also, the fact that they didn't speak at all. Hilarious.
Yeah, that's good. They sacred Rihanna.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I have to say about it. I just think it was hilarious.
It's a phenomenal act. Yeah.
I feel like whenever anyone comes on and makes people laugh, it's great.
Make someone laugh atypically.
Yeah.
Like not because of a funny joke thing that they've conjured up. It's just like, here's just a weird idea that I think is going to make people laugh.
Right. Surprise and delight.
Yes.
It also gives you the whole less is more thing of like, no words. And it can be universally enjoyed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's so important because like, you can make anyone laugh. Right. Like things that everyone can relate to past the language barrier. Hunger, laughter, just emotion of some sort. Like, genius.
Right. Yeah. Who doesn't love to laugh?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love to laugh?
The haters.
Yeah, the haters. No, you're right. You're right. I always hate when the judges are like, this is so, like I can see when they think that their time is being wasted. And I'm like, yeah, maybe they're not going to like win the competition, but like, isn't this fun? Yeah. Like this performance? I don't know, maybe that's the performer in me, but I'm like, isn't this fun?
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, they act like their time is wasted, but then there are a lot of acts that just go through that are wasteful acts.
Yeah.
And it's like, you seriously fucking put one of these people through? Are you kidding me? Like, hand fart guy. What the fuck did he go through? Impressive, sure. Don't get me wrong. But why?
Yeah.
Like, this is
he
not...
going to Vegas? Is he going to Vegas?
Like, realistically. Like, and does he know? Does he believe he's going to Vegas? That's another thing. I don't know.
Like, a lot of the times, like the jugglers, I'm always like, really? I'm sorry to anyone that juggles. But like, $1 million?
So far, what have we done? We've been racist. We've insulted jugglers, engineers, nerds.
Yeah. But it's true. Like, it does frustrate me when I'm like, I see these people get through that I'm like, see this act. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're just wasting their time. Like, yeah, it was fun. And like the piano guys, like they didn't get through and like, yeah, whatever. I wasn't like mad about it, but I was like, this audition was fun. Like they did what they came to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that does like bother me sometimes. I'm like, this really could be a great opportunity. Like Harry Styles was on the X Factor. Like that's wild.
It's insane.
He's the biggest star in music right now.
Now he is. Yeah.
Like this could be like a real opportunity for someone. Don't put like the little girl that's like twinkle, twinkle, little star. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I get like I get. I mean, even as I said that, I'm like, I get like not wanting. Yeah. As I said, I was like, well, I don't want them to be
wasting our time.
Right. Like I don't want them to be like beeping and making a little girl cry, but it's like there needs to be some sort of like realistic.
Yeah. I think it's the matter.
I mean, God, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I think it's a matter of like, because it's AGT or these Got Talent shows are two things. It's a talent show, but then it's also a show.
Right.
So yeah, the whole judging aspect of like, yeah, people are going to show off their talent, but at the end of the day, the network has to make money off of this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is interesting to see that, it should just be about the talent. It should just be about, like we're getting these amazing acts to come on, but that's not what's going to get ratings, unfortunately. Yeah. And the network is like, we need to push some of these goofy acts that are maybe not going to go through and get people talking. I mean, hey, some of these acts are getting us talking. You know what I'm saying? So they're doing their jobs.
Right. I'm not like opposed to seeing the like goofy, dumb stuff. It's the like letting people through, like being like, you know what? Yes, I'm.
It is upsetting. It's very, again, hand fart guy. Yeah. Don't know why. There are a lot of acts that come on and like, I'm going to be honest, this season was the only season that I'm like fully watching AGT and understanding the show
week by week.
By week. Yeah. I'm understanding it and like how the structure of the show is, and it's mind boggling. It's like, and
in what way?
In a weird way where it's like, this is so fucking produced.
Yeah.
And then the way that Billy has told us, like how he's been in the audience and like some of the stuff he's seen from being at a taping versus what we're seeing on actual TV. My goodness, they pull the strings on so many of these things.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that there isn't talent. There is talent. Yes. But what they let through and what they don't let through and what they televise and what they don't televise is so, I cannot understand it. I like Jesus. Like
It's classic reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's no reality about it.
It is.
None whatsoever.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, those are my 2 acts.
Very nice.
I love the funny, weird, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me.
It's very cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Funny, weird, bad.
Marisa.
Yes.
So I'm going to stick in some ways with comedy music, but taking a slightly different approach to it. I'm going to talk about Ben Lapidus.
Oh my God, I was going to bring him up.
Ben.
I'm so glad you did.
Big Ben Lapidus. And what I enjoy the most about his performance, because you could argue, without wanting to start off with a negative, but when you look at his stuff since AGT, there has been a lot of not funny music. And again, you think, dude, you're really funny.
Yeah.
Just be funny.
Right.
There's money to be made from just funny music because it gets in people's heads. It makes them smile. It makes them anyway.
Yeah.
But him coming on, him singing the Parmesan song, Red X's the whole thing. And then the audience just gets behind him.
Yeah.
And then it turns it into a winner. And what I like about that, without wanting to just, pick apart the whole format of the show, but it seems like that's what we're doing, is that it just shows that the judges don't know anything. No. The judges are entirely immaterial because it's this, we could make a broader point about art in general, but it's not about who's the best singer, dancer, actor, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's about what people want to see.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's beginning and end of list. What if people want to see it, then it's good and it will get through. And so the judges can see, Heidi Klum can say, I don't really get it, to as many weird comedy things as possible.
Absolutely.
Just, it's about what people want to see.
Right.
And I think, with somebody like him who's come in and singing a song that's weird and, with comedy especially, there's things that you laugh at and there's things that you don't laugh at, and your own personal sense of humor is a fingerprint, is as unique as anything else about you. And so the fact that these 4 people didn't get it means nothing.
Nothing.
Because these hundreds of people did get it.
The people were rioting.
They were going crazy for it. And rightly so, because it's a really funny song.
Yeah.
And it's very relatable and blah, blah, blah. But so because it really highlighted for me this, the idea that Simon Cowell, fair enough, is has been a music executive for most of his life. He knows what he's doing with the music.
Yeah.
Howie Mandel, comedian, sure. I'm sure he has seen hundreds of thousands of, probably not hundreds of thousands, but lots of stand-up comedians. Yeah. He's got a sense of what's funny, what's going to work, what's not going to work. Heidi Klum's a fashion model. Sofia Vergara's an actress.
She was on a comedy show. Yeah.
She was on a comedy show, but
yeah.
But then, I don't know. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It has no value to it. And the fact that even Simon Cowell, who made his millions initially, putting out novelty records with the Teletubbies and the nonsense stuff.
Yeah.
WWF wrestlers.
Yeah. Just
stuff that was never going to do well, but it's like a novelty. Someone's going to buy it. Bob the Builder, whatever. The fact that even he didn't see that Ben Lapidus is doing a good song shows it's all just it's a fugazi, it's fugazi. It doesn't mean anything. It's all just whimsy and caprice and taste and
yeah. I'm glad you brought him up because I actually just watched it for the first time yesterday.
Oh.
And same thing. I was like, he's not his singing. He isn't a terrible singer. He's actually a decent singer.
Yeah.
I could see him doing the Stephen Lynch thing, or even writing musicals, funny musicals. There's definitely something there.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So I get what you mean. It's true. It doesn't really mean anything.
And it does make it such a shame that he's then in his stuff, and he'll even try and do funny videos, which even pushes it.
Oh,
we were watching.
I have to say, I love his Instagram account. His Instagram account is amazing. His YouTube is amazing.
Yeah.
Just because there's this, he's an amazing artist. He's
very good.
He's a very good artist. And I also like that he incorporates his own talents into still making something funny, slightly political, satirical. Like, he still incorporates that like funniness into it. And it's just, I don't know. It just boggles my mind that the judges didn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it could also be maybe social class, maybe being in a different kind of, because
tax bracket. Yeah.
No, seriously, like it could really be a thing of like, okay, to us, we go to an Olive Garden and we'll just be like, we want more Parmesan cheese. To them, they're like, we don't fucking care. Yeah. Give me the fucking Parmesan cheese. I'm Simon fucking Cowell. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if to them it's a no-brainer, they're gonna get whatever the fuck they want. But to us, it's like, well, we could kind of get the Parmesan cheese. We'll probably get funny looks. I don't know. I mean,
that's a nice take.
That is a really good point.
Yeah,
for sure. Because it's like when you're able to see and do everything, like it you become jaded, and it's like you have to work really hard to impress them. And so these people that are so high up probably don't have a real grasp on like what's actually good and what's not.
Yeah.
They don't have their finger on the pulse of like what's happening, what's not happening, what is the future. They just kind of know what's good now.
Yeah.
Because they can, because they are rich.
Rich.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
If we could get Ben on this podcast. He's also such a stand-up guy. Like from the last time that we were talking to him, he just seems like such a...
We should.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Oh, God.
Love him.
Yeah, he's great. He's
just be funny. Just be funny, Ben. Just be funny.
He also just gives me the...
Write a musical, Ben.
He has to.
Yeah.
He has to. He gives me that like Piff the Magic Dragon kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can talk to him and he's a very serious guy and he's very like, but then he can switch the funny on.
You turn it on.
Yeah. Right then and there when he needs to. And it's like...
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Great. Great.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for...
Great choice. Well done.
Choice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I love that affirmation.
Yeah.
That's what I crave.
What about you, Julian?
All right.
You got?
I got one more. Oh, I don't even need to look at my phone. I know who it is. Viggo Venn. Another, the moment where you were just like, you want more?
Yeah.
Immediately took me to that place, but dude is just hilarious. And it's, you got a Daft Punk song. You got a dude who looks like a crazy scientist, very optimistic, joyous, just getting on stage, doing the funny thing. All the elements that are great. And then the judge is being like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah.
It's so great. I have no more words. I mean, he's just phenomenal. He's just hilarious. I will say I haven't seen the rest of his acts and I need to.
Yeah.
Because I've been told that it's just gets better and better.
It's all just, it's nonsense. He reminds me in a way, I think in part because of the kind of the non-verbal kind of comedy that he does. And that is very imaginative. He kind of reminds me a little bit of a less structured Tape Face.
I could see that.
That it's just like he's had this mad idea in the pub one night and just thought, I'm just going to give it a try. Wouldn't it? Would that be funny? Yeah, that's probably going to be funny. It's so silly.
Yeah.
Because all of Tape Face's stuff is all just silly, stupid stuff. But it, string it all together and it, creates a great thing. And I think I would recommend looking him up and seeing, because he's done the kind of vest thing before in comedy clubs. And there's a couple of videos online of him doing them in comedy clubs on like kind of gong shows kind of thing, where it's like, where they get comedians to come up and maybe it's more of a London thing, but they will like hit a gong when you're not funny anymore and then you have to get off. So it's like pretty harsh.
Yeah.
And so for him to have the confidence to go on to something like that, saying, I've got no jokes. I've got nothing funny to say, but I'm just going to be an idiot and it's going to get everybody in the room.
Yeah.
And they go mad for it. It's incredible.
So good. But it's a thing of like, there's this, what is it? There's this SpongeBob episode where, have y'all seen SpongeBob? Should I? Yes. Dan. Okay, cool. There's that one SpongeBob episode where I don't remember where it was. They try to get and put on a talent show and Squidward's taking on the whole thing. And then he's doing this interpretive dance or something and he gets booed off stage and they throw tomatoes. And then SpongeBob just goes over and starts cleaning and they're like, oh, yeah. That's pretty good,
Yes.
It gives me that same vibe where it's like, again, you do this thing that's just, you don't have anything to say, but you're going to just do this thing. Right. And it's the audience. If you put yourself in the perspective of the audience is going to think, oh, we're here to see talent.
It's about connection too, connecting to something like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Like that goes back to like the thing I was saying before about the comedians where it's like, sometimes it's not the story you're telling. That's like the funny thing. Like Sebastian Maniscalco is very funny. He's got such great physical comedy. Mm-hmm. Like, it's true. Like, if you're a comedian, like, just make people laugh. Like, I love when people can put their ego aside and just do the thing that they're trying to do. So yeah, that's a good choice. I agree.
And there's such a I've done stand up a couple of times before, and the thing, and I obviously dragged my wife along to it, and she would dislike a lot of it because when obviously it's an open mic night. There's going to be some funny people. There's going to be some not funny people at all. Right. And neither of us have any sense of chardon for it. It's just like, if people are having a bad time on stage, I hate it. I
can't.
And she'd say that, well, that's the thing that she was like, for me, even if I don't have great material, which I often didn't, it's like, it's just, there would always be, and I think Viggo Venn does this very well. There's always a sense of like, he's comfortable.
Yeah.
He's comfortable on stage. He's not nervous. And if he's not nervous, I don't have to be nervous watching him because he's got it. He knows what he's doing. He's got it. And I think that's a big thing of, like you say, it's you respond, you're connecting, you're responding to that person.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like, if I could just go on a little bit of a tangent.
Here we go.
Obviously I said before, I went to school for acting, got my BFA, I was in an ensemble, conservatory. And I used to think that like, especially like right after I graduated when COVID was, I was like, I do with this. But it is, I feel like I learned so much about like connecting with people, and it is, you come to realize like that is so much of what we do, not just like in entertainment and like performances, but like that is so much of life. Like the acts on America's Got Talent, like when someone is connected with what they're doing, no matter how weird or whatever, like you're going to respond to it. It's when people are insecure about it or have doubts, like you see that, and that's Viggo, like he just full throttle.
Oh yeah.
100%, like is totally comfortable. Like I remember one of the things they told me in like one of the first things I learned, and I thought was interesting. The audience will feel how you feel. Like if you're up there and you're nervous, the audience is going to be nervous for you.
They're immediately going to just feel that.
If you're relaxed, the audience is going to relax and they're going to enjoy.
Yeah.
And that is so much of this. Like, it's so true. Like, the people that are just committed and comfortable, and even if they get 4 X's, believe in what they're doing.
Yeah.
Those are the people that get through a lot of the time. Or even if they don't get through, people connect with it. And then, outside of America's Got Talent or these shows, like something happens.
Cult following.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And that's a really good point. I think that's like a big part of it, is the people that are comfortable on stage. And no matter what happens, believe in what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's the difference between
because you get the sense that even if he'd come out and he'd done exactly what he'd done and it had not connected and it had gone terribly, you get that sense, I think he'd still be having fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think he'd still be having a good time.
And I think like Susan Boyle's a good example of that. Like she came out like, and everyone was kind of laughing because she looked kind of, frumpy. But she just was like, I've never really had the chance to sing.
Yeah.
Here's to hoping it'll change. And it's like, so she just went up there and, people were laughing, but it didn't make her nervous. And so she went up there and blew everyone's minds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she just was kind of comfortable. She was like, I want to sing.
Yeah.
And even if it was good or bad, she wanted to sing. And so she got up there and sang, and it was great.
Yeah.
So that's a really good point.
So I like seeing when you go to karaoke.
Yeah.
There's good people. I mean, personally speaking, I don't massively enjoy it when people who are really good go to karaoke.
Same. We just had this conversation.
Just a humble brag. Just
there's other places.
No, guys, I don't want to. And
no. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
But like when somebody gets up there and they're not necessarily very good, but like they've got their eyes closed.
Yeah.
And they're like in their mind, they are there. They are in the Budokan. Like they are all in. I think, that's what karaoke's about.
Exactly.
It's that suspension of disbelief.
That's why there needs to be a lot of drinking with karaoke in my
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't do karaoke sober. Oh my God. That's like,
Some of these karaoke places purposely have that button, like call for shots kind of thing.
Really?
And it's like after a certain point, that button's just getting, that button's going to be broken.
Yeah. I just did karaoke really in full for the first time this week. Yeah. I was very drunk. It was kind of bad.
That's the best part about it.
Right.
Know?
It was bad. It was, I got up there was my uncle's 60th and he loves karaoke. And he said, it's funny. He said the same thing. He's like, if you're good, don't go up. Like, that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
And so I got up there and like, I dedicated a song to my grandpa Gene and it was Low by Flo Rida because I was just so drunk. And I just, because, there were pictures of him. We were talking about him. And so I was like, I just would like to dedicate this to my grandpa Gene. And then it's like, let me talk. Like it's just so fun.
God.
Like it's just about letting your inhibitions down. Yeah. And I now appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then
this one's for you, Grandpa.
This one's
Shorty had them
apple bottom jeans, boots with, and then afterwards I was like, I got feedback from people like, oh, I didn't know that he, and I was like, he didn't like that song.
He's just here for the moment,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I went to, it was for my girlfriend's birthday. We went to this place in Brooklyn called Union Hall. And never been there before, but it was this idea, like there was this bar with like shuffleboard up top. You go downstairs though, and there's another room. It's a karaoke room.
Nice.
But it's a stage. And there's a bar. And they're just like, sign up, get up on stage and perform for everyone. And people didn't care if you were good or bad. And it was this moment of like, you had to just go up there, live your best life, and the crowd will cheer for you no matter what. But it is this feeling of like, oh my God, I'm getting up here and I'm doing this thing. And oh my God, it was funny because like one of Julie's cousins got really drunk and and he was like, no, man, we got to do a Drake song. Let's go up there and let's do this. And I was like, oh God, he's really drunk and we're going to do this. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
But it is that moment of like, I don't care if I'm good or bad. People are going to cheer. Same thing with Viggo. People are going to cheer for things. It's like you see these videos on TikTok of like someone going to a concert and then they're lifting their baby and then people in the crowd are like, yeah.
It's connection. People are connecting with things. Like when people are moved, they're moved.
Yeah. It's so crazy. It's so great.
Wait, what is everyone's karaoke song?
Oh man.
Tribute Tenacious D. I've done a few times. Goes down pretty well.
Okay.
I do all parts.
Oh my God.
All parts of that.
You know, I've never thought to sing a Tenacious D song at karaoke.
It's good.
And now I have to do it.
Yeah.
Why have I never done that?
Wow. Private Dancer, Tina Turner.
Oh, great. Okay.
I can go high.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound good, but
yeah, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it is just fun to see somebody looking like me singing about being a go-go dancer.
Yeah.
A lot of men come in these places.
Hey.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Off the top of my head, Hero by Enrique Iglesias.
Wow.
It brings the people together. It really does. I'm always like, we're going to slow it down. All right. And then at the beginning, it's like, let me be your hero. I love it. I do. If I asked you to,
that's very Enrique Iglesias.
Would you die? If I asked you to, it's just so dramatic.
It's
amazing. Love it. The
it's
choir
so
at the end. It's great.
Wow. Damn.
I love it. Yeah, that's one of many on my repertoire.
I don't have a good karaoke song. I don't think I do. I mean, I usually opt in to sing like one of the more popular ones that are usually a karaoke. I do like In the End by Linkin Park. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pitbull songs are also amazing
for sure.
During karaoke. Just,
for sure.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, I got to try that Tenacious D thing though.
Tenacious D
works.
Yeah. I remember I was at a festival. I was filming something at a festival back in the UK, and they had this amazing thing called Rockyoke.
Rockyoke,
which is karaoke, but it's with a live band.
Shut the fuck up.
It's with guitars and the drums. And
where's this at?
It's a UK thing, and they travel around, and you can book them for like your wedding and stuff, which would be an amazing wedding. Anyway,
yeah. Oh, you're so right.
And we were doing this bit for the video where it's like I'm bigging myself up, like I'm going to sing this amazing, like really, Rocky Oak. I'm really going to go for it. And then the one that I ended up singing was Easy by the Commodores. Or Faith No More, I suppose, might be the more specific rock one. And it was great, and everyone was it gets everybody involved. But it's one of my big regrets that because obviously they have their set list of like, well, it has to be a song that we know. It's not just playing a CD. And one of the songs on their list was Alive by Pearl Jam, which is one of my absolute favorite songs in the world. Yeah. And is described by my brother, who got me into Pearl Jam, as a voice shredder. Yeah. Like it's just, finish it. Yeah. And that I didn't pick that one and say, I know that we're trying to do a bit for a video, but this is a very personal moment for me. And to be able to sing Alive by Pearl Jam with a live band would, oh my God, I may have climaxed. I don't know. It would have just been such an amazing, it would have been a proper eyes closed, like I'm at Wembley Stadium. Is
it a thing that you think back to from time to time?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Just a wasted opportunity. Not a wasted opportunity, because obviously Easy by the Commodores is a wonderful, wonderful song. But just that chance, I'm not sure I'll ever get that chance again to sing Pearl Jam with they were amazing musicians. In front of an audience. Oh, that would have just been great.
It's funny. I've had one of those moments where like it immediately took me back to this one time I was at a show. I listened to a lot of like emo raw XD songs growing up in high school. And so I went to this show for this band called Attack, and they were just breaking up. It was their Fuck It, We're Done tour back in like May of 2014, 2015, somewhere out in Gramercy. Anyways, they're playing their last song called Smokeahontas, and the dude, and it's imagine just mosh pits, crowd surfing, all the 9 yards. My shirt's fucking off. I'm raging in this thing, right? Little high school me or like college me is raging. And at some point before the song starts, Caleb Shomo, the lead singer, who now is in another band, he grabs the mic, and mind you, he had left the band and he just came back for this tour. Right, so like everyone's fucking going hard for this, right? And he's like, this is our last fucking song. I want one of you fuckers to crowd surf, get up on this fucking stage, rip this mic out of my hand, and fucking sing the songs or scream the lyrics, whatever, fine. Wow. Like intense. And so I crowd surfed, and I had this moment of like, you get there, the security guard takes you, and you're supposed to walk around, but the stage is right in front of you. And when I tell you time stood still, and I still think about this moment to this day, where I stood there, literally looking up at the stage, looking at him, and just being like, do I climb this? Do I do it? And my ass walked. Oh. And I'm telling you, like the moment you said, I regret this. Yeah. I thought of that moment.
For next time, no regrets.
Yeah, no regrets.
No regrets. No regrets.
Do you have a moment by any chance that you think back to when you're like
talking about our largest regrets and for some reason?
Forget AGT, you know?
It's turned into an emotionally revealing jaunt.
Where's the tissue?
I do. You know what I do actually? Yeah.
Here we go.
It has nothing to do with like celebrities or anything like that. It was actually when I went to school on a spring break trip to London, theater program. We were seeing shows every day. It was great. And everyone, we went to the Globe Theater, and there was a time where it was just us. And I was like, I was really struggling. I was just not in a good place. I was like 2021. And as part of the trip, like everyone had a Shakespeare monologue that they rehearsed that they could perform on the Globe stage.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't do it. I didn't, because I just was like, I was so insecure. Like there was this thing that my teacher talked about, like the levels of incompetence. There's unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, unconscious competence, conscious competence. I was fully in the conscious incompetence. I know what I'm not good at.
God,
I was really hard on myself. And we were in London, had the beautiful Globe Theater to ourselves. Yeah. I could have gone up there. It didn't matter if it was good or bad. I could have just done it, and I didn't do it.
Wow.
just because I was so bad on being so hard on myself. Like, and I was literally the only one that did not.
No.
And I truly, like, I chickened out. Like, I didn't even chicken out. Like, I just was like, no, like, I didn't like feel worthy to like go up there and do it. And I wish I did, because it was like, what opportunity am I going to get to perform on the Globe? Yeah, it was like just with kids from my school, but to stand up there and like, I'm probably never going to go back there again. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I do have regrets about that, where it's like, just go do it, like be kind to yourself. So I do, in a way, definitely have a moment like that.
I really do hope that we each get that moment again, and we get to complete that. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you got to perform with the live band, sing that Pearl Jam song. I've got to see a show, get up on stage, probably get tackled by security guards, but I don't care. Who cares? You know? Yeah. Marisa, you got to perform at this stage. You know?
What was it? What was your monologue?
I think it was.
Because, I mean, we've got a couple of minutes now. If you want to let loose.
I don't think I remember it. Actually, tomorrow. No. I think it was, I don't remember the monologue, but I think it was from A Winter's Tale that that I had considered doing. And part of it was that I didn't prepare, but I also didn't prepare because I was like, no, I'm not going to do good enough. So, yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. Wow. Do you want me to do it right now?
I mean, if you've got it locked and loaded,
all right.
Here we go. I feel like we can't finish on such a bummer. I've got one more act I can talk about.
Yeah. Let's do it.
You know what? Let's just go right into it.
Let's go. One more act that we can talk about. It's an act called Pasha and Aliona. And this again was from a couple of years ago. And it is an act where this guy comes out, this Eastern European guy, Russian guy maybe, comes out. He's dressed in a lovely, tux and full thing, tails even, I think. And he has this story of that he's upset because his wife was supposed to travel over and dance with him. He's a dancer. Was supposed to travel over and dance with him, but she missed her flight and she's not present. And it's but he thinks that he worked something out, and he thinks he's found someone that he can dance with, and blah, blah, blah. And so like, okay, that's it's fine. Applause, and he goes off. And then a minute later, he gets wheeled back on, him and this woman in this beautiful, like, yellow kind of polka dot in my head dress, get wheeled on one of those, like, gurney kind of things.
Okay.
And then dumped on stage, and they're there. And there's something about his face that looks just a little bit, I don't know, weird, like plasticky. Or
Is it supposed to be like a mannequin kind of?
He kind of looks mannequin-ish, yes.
Okay.
And then they start dancing around, and it's all very in hold.
I think I know this. Yes,
it's all in hold. It's kind of but then they start doing some things that don't really make sense physically.
Okay,
like the way that they bend doesn't really make sense, and they're not bending in the right places, or they're bending in a way that you wouldn't be able to bend. And then at one point they like jump up onto a table, and it's really weird and strange, and she's got these boots on, and then at one point he like leans her back, and underneath her dress, like the boots are just there, and there's no feet in the boots.
Oh yeah.
What is going on? This is really weird, but great, and really different and interesting. And then the big finale is that he spins around, and then he stands up, and you realize that he has been on all fours all this time, and he's had these two like mannequin things on his butt, essentially. And you think, my God, what a specific performance that is.
But it's such a great reveal.
Such a great reveal, such a great performance. Yeah. And it's one of those things, and we've talked about it before in the podcast, the idea that there are some acts that could win. There are some acts that could absolutely go on to win and have their own show and all of that kind of stuff. And that'd be great.
It's not crazy to think about that. Yeah.
Absolutely not. And then there are some, like the Michael Myers, the Michael Myers dancers, that they're here for a moment.
Yes. That's exactly what
they're going to create this moment, and it's going to last 5 minutes maybe. And then can't really do it again because the gag has been revealed or whatever it is. And like, what else? I mean, it's such a specific thing. What else could he do? But there's so many performances like that. And I think that is a big part of AGT, I think, for me.
Oh, absolutely.
That they're not going to win. Of course they're not going to win. It doesn't have the longevity of winning. But from a variety standpoint, which I believe is what this show should be all about, it's not really about the singers. It's not, arguably not about the dancers. But people coming in, acrobats and jugglers and whatever, doing weird things. The shows that they're going to end up on, they only need 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yes.
And if you get 10 5-minute acts, that's a great show. People are going to pay their money. Like the Big Apple Circus comes to New York every year. Right. Watch that and it was, there's a trapeze woman and there's a thing, and they come on and they do their 5-10 minutes, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's so different. And
it's funny. I've known Bello from the Big Apple Circus before knowing him from AGT. And it's because I'm like, this dude looks so familiar. And then I think about all the Subway acts I've seen, and it's like, insane. But yeah, I think it should be a variety thing, you know? And it's like, again, it goes back to the argument of like showcasing talents and stuff, but I think it just needs to be like, people are there to just enjoy the acts, You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and he went on AGT, and I remember being like, well, this guy's just from the Big Apple Circus. And there were these like big, I don't know if you remember them, but there used to be these like red advertisements in the subway.
Yeah.
And you would just see his face plastered. Yeah. And all the commercials had him on it, even before he was on AGT.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Because that's, I don't know. I love the variety aspect of it. I love the idea that somebody has spent like hours, days, weeks, months of years of their life to perfecting this like yo-yo thing.
Right.
Sure. Go for it. Because that is going to, I'm not going to watch that for an hour, but that is going to captivate me for
absolutely.
like 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm going to be drilled into this thing, and I can't believe what's going on. It's amazing. And so, for an act like Pasha and Aliona, obviously Pasha and Aliona, Aliona's just a mannequin that he's stuck to his ass. But I think that's perfect AGT for me of someone coming in and just having this moment, creating this like 5-minute thing that just blows you away.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree.
About the moment.
Yeah.
Great choices.
Yeah.
Gosh,
like
good job, guys.
It's a good.
Really awesome stuff.
Yeah. And who knows what? So are we done with auditions now for this season?
I don't know.
Is there one more audition week?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We should know.
We should know.
It's kind of our job to know.
It is kind of our job.
Someone quickly text Corey.
But yeah, if there are more auditions, hopefully there'll be some mind-bending variety acts still to come.
Yeah. I'm excited. And if it's not any more auditions, I'm excited to see how the participants are.
This is where it gets interesting, especially with these weird acts that you think, okay, you've done this. That's great.
But what else are you going to do?
What you got next?
Yeah. Right.
Because a singer, what you got next? I'm going to sing another song. Oh, great.
Right.
Well done.
Fantastic.
You blow my mind. But like, something a bit weird. You think, well, you need to, what's
like
the next level for this?
Right.
Yeah.
Hand fart guy. I just, actual farts maybe, farts with his feet.
I mean, one of the big things that I think we've learned on this podcast is that Julian hates hand fart guy.
I do not hate him.
It's just
count
he's
your
distracted
days.
by
Hand
it.
fart guy.
I think
He's got a piece of paper in front of him that he's just written hand fart guy, like
he's got a
serial
dartboard
killer.
with his picture on
Just
it.
my little Death Note notebook with his name just written all over it. No, I just don't understand why. Again, it is impressive. Yes, do not get me wrong. I can't do fucking Ave Maria with any sort of like thing that creates noises. Like, why? Just why? It's a bullshit act.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm just saying it correctly, like
you're right.
And what makes me even more mad is just the fucking act before that one was actually good. And they were like, no, get off the stage. Oh, but this dude who does hand farts, and he traveled all the way from Italy.
Oh my God.
He traveled from fucking Italy.
That's even funnier.
Like, and they were just like, did you really take a flight just to get on here? Like,
I'm going to make the music.
Yeah.
The farts.
For the Fortahandi. My name is Giuseppe Fortahandi.
Everybody.
Oh, God.
You know the words.
Oh, God. Mamma mia. Oh, man. All right. Well,
you want me to play Mamma Mia? My hand.
Here I go again.
More.
You want more? All right. Well, thanks for sticking around, y'all.
Yeah.
This is, I think this is where we end. Thanks for
joining us, guys.
Thanks for joining us. If you like the show or if you like the podcast, make sure to rate and review us, leave some comments. This really helps out the podcast, and we'd like to put out more of this content and possibly taking it to greater lengths.
Yeah.
We would like video at some point.
Yeah.
We'd like a bigger budget, but
like us on Yelp.
Like, do we have a Yelp? We'd like to bring up a food chain called Talent Recap. The Recap Room food. It's a working title.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We're working on it. But we'll dish out some stuff. Get it?
Dish out.
But do rate and review us. It does help the podcast, and it does help us. And we'd like to provide more and more content for you. Stay
if
tuned.
you do take the time to write a 5-star review, then we will read that out.
Yeah,
because that is what we need.
Yeah.
We should do like a review of the week.
We should.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we should.
Be featured on our next podcast.
I'll show you a video once we get off. I'll show you.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you all in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.